Hello and welcome to Bry's Book and Film. And the film I'm going to talk about today is Hard Target from 1993. A film directed by John Woo, and it stars the legendary Jean-Claude Van Damme, one of my favourites. The leading lady is Yancy Butler, who plays Natasha. Jean-Claude Van Damme plays a character called Chance. You've got Arnold Vosloo, the legendary Arnold Vosloo. He plays a character called Pick Von Cleef. You'll know Arnold Vosloo from The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. Lance Henriksen is Emile Fouchon. Casey Lemons is Detective Marie Mitchell. And Willie C. Carpenter is Elijah Roper. Now, what we've got here is a classic film. It's really good. I'm going to give it a 3 coffee cup rating. There's 3 hot coffee cups here because Van Damme's in it. It's not quite as good as Double Impact. Double Impact would get 5 steaming hot cups of coffee all day long and twice on Sunday. So what we start off with is a fella called Douglas Binder, and he's running for his life. He's involved in a game. He's an ex-serviceman and he's involved in a game. He's being hunted. He's being hunted by Pick Van Cleef and Emile Fouchon. Emile Fouchon is the main man, is the main villain, and Emile Fouchon is the main man, and Pick Van Cleef is his understudy, is his evil little mate. And Douglas Binder is a homeless veteran, and he's been enticed to play this game of survival because somebody has paid Mr. Fouchon to hunt a human being. And the proviso is if the homeless veteran can make it to the river, he gets to keep the 10 grand in the money belt, and he can rebuild his life. As you can tell, there's going to be skullduggery going on with this little arrangement, but no matter. So Douglas Binder just about makes it to the river, but he was always going to be murdered anyway. So what we end up with then is Natasha, played by Yancy Butler. I've got to consult my notes. Played by Yancy Butler. Natasha Binder, she is the daughter of this. It's a long lost, estranged dad, and she turns up in New Orleans to make contact, touch base again with her dad that she's lost track of. She then discovers that her dad was homeless, living on the streets, doing what he could to survive. She goes into a restaurant where the main man, Chance Boudreaux, is in there hustling some food and a cup of coffee. And Natasha goes in and she's flashing the cash around, inadvertently flashing the cash, and some of the local villains decide that they've got more right to that cash than she does. So they follow her out to the car. Chance leaves, but he knows there's something fishy going on. He checks, as he goes out, he checks the reflection in the glass, and he knows that something fishy's going on. So anyway, so the 3 or 4 goons decide that they want Natasha's money, so they're going to basically turn her over and rob her for it. In comes the hero of the film, Chance Boudreaux, and he sorts out all these goons, kicks their heads in, does them over, sends them packing, and off he goes into the sunset sort of thing. Early on in the film, we're setting our stall as Chance being a geezer. So Natasha's had a bit of a dry slap from one of the goons, so she's got a little bit of blood around her mooey. And so she then goes on the lookout for her dad, goes to the last known address, discovers he was homeless. Meanwhile, Chance is trying to board a ship because he's a merchant seaman, but he owes money for the union dues, I suppose, so they won't let him sail. Meanwhile, Natasha turns up and she employs Chance to help find her dad. And it goes into a whole thing. He was handing out leaflets for a striptease club. It's in his shopping cart, which is where we meet Elijah. And she looks horrified, and they say, look, we're doing what we can to survive. You know, don't be offended by it. It was a survival thing. You know, girly clubs and that sort of seedy underworld stuff. So anyway, so they're going around, they're looking, trying to find Douglas, the deceased Douglas Binder. And, you know, they go and see Detective Marie Mitchell, as consult my notes, played by Casey Lemons. Detective Marie Mitchell, the police are on strike. She's the only one working. She's having a rough time of it. She's trying to do all the work, and she says, look, you know, for somebody to be missing, they've got to have somewhere to be missing from. He was homeless. There's not a lot we can or will do, because she was there on her own, keeping the police department running. So, you know, that happens. They take it upon themselves. Meanwhile, the villains, Mr. Fouchon and Mr. Van Cleef, they're busy organising their new prey, because they want to hunt a human being. People apparently want to pay to hunt a human being, and that's where they rope in Elijah. They discover that Douglas was murdered. Then Elijah gets roped into this human hunt, and you know, and then of course Chance and Natasha end up going to war with Mr. Fouchon and Mr. Van Cleef, and we head out into the bayous of, you know, out into the countryside, the marshlands and all that sort of thing, because they're now at war and they're being chased, and it's really good. I'm not doing it justice. There's a lot of action. You know, you've got chases and there's shoot-ups and, you know, shoot-outs, that sort of thing. Shoot-em-ups, shoot-outs. You know, Detective Mitchell gets shot and killed in the line of duty, so that's heroic for her. And they end up going out into the bayous to see Chance's Uncle Duvet, who helps them to escape, and it all leads up into the main sort of climax of the film. You know, Mr. Fouchon and Pic Van Cleef end up rounding up some new customers to track down Chance Boudreaux. You know, it's $750,000 to enter, and if you kill Chance Boudreaux, you don't have to pay, but everyone else does, to be part of the human hunt. So, you know, as you can expect, there's lots of action, there's lots of fights. Arnold Vosloo, he just shines. He really is that good. He really, really is that good. Mind you, Lance Henriksen, to be fair, he does a pretty good turn in this film as well. So, you know, he does a good. They all do a good turn. Arnold Vosloo looks particularly menacing in this outing. Very menacing, actually. You know, plays a good bad guy. If you've seen The Mummy and The Mummy Returns, he's in those as well. So that's, you look and he's got one of those faces, a very distinctive face, and you'll say, "Oh, that's I've seen him." And what have I seen him in? And then you'll realise that you've seen him in lots and lots of stuff. So he's got one of those distinctive faces. So, and of course, it all ends up in a big fight scene, a big rumble. There's lots of flames and explosions and shooting and people getting blown up, and you know, it's really, really, really good. It's a classic Van Damme film, directed by John Woo, way back in 1993. Yeah, three hot coffee cups for this. I would like to make it more. I do enjoy watching it. Myself and Mrs. Grills watched it the other night, and I would like to give it more, but the story's a little bit flimsy in places. It moves well, it paces well. It's not got a This Is 40 vibe. It keeps moving. You keep moving. The action's always there. But the storyline overall, human hunting, I'm not sure. I know it's an escape from reality, isn't it? But it's a firm, solid 3 hot coffee cups for this one. Hard Target, 1993. If you've not seen it by now, then I highly recommend that you buy it on DVD or you stream it on one of the millions of streaming apps that we have available to us now. Hard Target, John Woo, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Arnold Vosloo. Buy it, watch it. It's that good. It's 3 coffee cups in the new rating. So I can't say fairer than that. It's not Double Impact. It's not going to get 5. You know, Double Impact is the best Van Damme film ever, I think. But that's a whole separate story. I did review Double Impact, and it's way back. It's way back a few weeks. So go back if you want to. The new rating wasn't applied then, so I'll do it retrospectively. So Double Impact, definite 5 hot coffee cups. Yeah, so that's it. Hard Target 1993. Give it a watch. It's that good. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.